Welcome to another video by Killifish Fish Room. Today we are going to talk about Fundulopanchax gardneri albino and how to breed them. Spawning albino gardneri is relatively straightforward using sinking spawning mobs. Well-fed fish would spawn daily, giving you a few eggs to collect from the mobs. Fertilized eggs are quite tough and easy to remove from the spawning mob using your fingers. And then what we do is we put the eggs into a little container with a peat bottom. We use peat moss on the bottom, which is quite moist, and we put the eggs that we collect from the mob, as seen in the footage, onto the peat moss to incubate for 2-3 weeks. The process is quite labor intensive, but this gives you the most success in getting the desired number of fry. After 2 or 3 weeks, as you can see, the eggs start to develop and you can see the white eyes of the fry that is ready to hatch on the peat moss. So what we do, we take the eggs that are ready to hatch out of the peat moss container into a little critter keeper with new water, and we put the eggs into the water. The eggs at this stage are quite hydrophobic, so you need to push them down to just to make sure that they break the water surface and fall to the bottom. And then the process is repeated with the other eggs, one by one, transferring all the eyed up eggs into the water for hatching. Quite often you might end up having to use your fingers for stubborn, buoyant eggs to get them to sink to the bottom. There. You could do this transfer with your fingers, but we like to use this little tool that comes in a dissecting kit. If you wet the tip of the tool, it actually picks the eggs up quite easily. The eggs stick to the tip of the tool, and you can transfer the ready to hatch eggs into the water container without damaging them. Repeat the process until all the eyed up eggs are transferred into the container for hatching. From egg picking to storing and of course putting them in to hatch is a bit laborsome, so you could actually upend the container, peat and roll into the hatching container to hatch as well. We like to be a little bit more precise so that we don't have to try to see the fry when they hatch. And here are some fry that have hatched less than 12 hours after being put in the water, and as you can see, some of the eggs are yet to hatch. This lot hatched between 10 hours after wetting to 48 hours, which is a bit of a range, but we were quite happy with the success rate. 100% of the eyed up eggs we transferred in the water hatched. After hatching, we moved the fry from the hatching container into shoe boxes to raise using a pipette. The newly hatched fry are not super mobile, so it makes it relatively straightforward to pipette the fry out of the hatching container. Here I'm pipetting the fry out into this little container to take their photos before transferring them into the shoe boxes to raise the fry. This is something that we like to do for all the species of fish that we breed in the fish room, just to have records of egg sizes as well as the size of the fry on hatching, which gives us a good comparison with the other species that we breed. And that's one part of the hobby that we find quite interesting. So the container is on a little ruler, and it makes it easy to try to measure and compare the newly hatched fry sizes with other species from the same group. All going well, the photography and video stage is done once per species, and after that we have electronic records like this one. After that, the fry are moved into shoeboxes to raise. In the shoeboxes we have some plants, a few ramshorn snails, and killifish fry can start feeding from day one. So some of the first foods that they receive are microworms and newly hatched baby brine shrimp. And this is the way we have the shoeboxes set up in the fish room. Hope the way we do things in the fish room are of interest to you, and thank you for watching.